Harem Part 6, The Talk. A blog series published by Girls Chase, on the process of building a dating system of multiple women. The goals are to learn how to deliver the talk, to know different phases of the talk, to understand why the talk is important. The talk, the most defining moment in your relationships, whether in this system, monogamy, or some other kind, will always be the talk. The talk is probably the most defining moment in the entire relationship cycle. From the moment you convert a girl from first-time sex to a relationship, to the point when you openly set the terms of the relationship. You're preparing the girl for the talk through your behavior, showing her exactly how you're going to act going forward. The purpose is to set a frame she's not likely to have ever heard from a guy before. You're non-monogamous, and you're going to see other people while you're with her. After the talk, over time, she will either accept these terms or auto-reject entirely. If you want to keep a girl as a non-monogamous girlfriend while retaining the freedom to date other women, with her blessing, then the talk is critical. The reason the talk is essential is that, up until that point in your relationship with a girl, the most significant anxiety she'll have around the relationship is knowing where it's all going. By this point, you've probably been seeing each other for several weeks or months, and since girls have a very limited timeline to enter into relationships and achieve commitment, she wants to be sure she's investing in the right man. You, on the other hand, need to tell her subtly yet directly that she's not investing in any normal relationship status, and by normal, I mean standard, social monogamy. Instead, she's entering a custom relationship style, one where you care about her and want to see her as your girlfriend. But you're going to be dating and sleeping with other women. During the talk, you're going to tell her this openly and honestly, and she'll understand it perfectly. You're also required to set it up in such a way that you have the best chance of you both getting what you want in the end. Some people might not agree to this principle, but I can tell you from experience that at least 80% of the women I've been with have stuck around after the talk to date me, sometimes over a long period. Others drop out immediately. And that's fine. The beauty of the harem system is that women can step into and out of the harem at any time, something we're going to address in Part 8 of the series. You should never be concerned about a girl leaving because she rejects the system. In my experience, it's usually temporary. Part of the freedom of the harem system, or any implicit non-monogamous system, is that the partners can do whatever they want, providing they're respectful to each other. As the dominant partner who will be introducing the system to your girlfriends and essentially asking for their compliance to buy into it, you will be principally responsible for their well-being and how well they understand it. It's entirely up to you to teach your girls the way you want them to act in this relationship style. The best way to do this is through your behavior, which you'll back up with the talk. This is the most defining moment of your relationship, so treat it with respect. Signs that the talk is coming. You should expect the talk to happen at any moment within the dating period of your relationship, but there are usually early signs of it coming. It will often occur between 3 to 6 months down the line if you are doing all the right things beforehand. Sometimes, it happens sooner. Other times, girls will drop off naturally during the attachment phase because they don't see a future with you. If you're running FP-style relationships, you probably won't even have a talk as extensive as the talk. It will likely be more straightforward. What we're targeting here are girls we want to make our MLTRs, or long-term, non-monogamous girlfriends. It's okay if girls drop out, as not every girl is made for this system. Often, they come back to you anyway. You genuinely need to have an abundance mentality and be able to seek out new women comfortably for the system to work. At some point during the dating phase, your girl is going to express something that sounds like she needs to know where the relationship is going before she becomes too invested. It usually starts as an overly dramatic, intense moment. Sometimes, it'll be calmer. You'll notice her being super quiet one day. She'll want you to bring it up instead of her. Other times, you'll be having a fantastic date, and she'll bring it up. You must be prepared for the talk to happen at any time. How to deliver the talk. When you're giving the talk, remember that you need to hit a few vital points. 1. You need to let her know that you're not the kind of guy who can stay with only one woman. You need to be upfront with her about this rather than keeping her in the dark. 2. Tell her you like her and care about her, and you enjoy your relationship together. It's best to be specific, but you only need to say 3 lines about this at most. 3. Tell her you understand she might not be okay with the setup and she is free to leave if she chooses, but you hope she doesn't, because you like her. And just like that, by hitting these points, you've told the girl you're not going to be monogamous with her, but you like her and want her to stay with you. The more genuine your desire for her, and hers for you, the more likely she is to accept your proposition for the sake of being with you. Then she'll shift her attention and hope to become your queen. Often, for me, the talk will go like this. I like you, Cecilia, you know I do. You are so special to me. And I love the time we spend together. I see how we complement each other. We're good partners, we've traveled a bit already, and I'm excited for more. But I can never be with just one woman. I'm just not that kind of guy. I do like you, though. You're free to leave if you want to, but I hope you don't. You're doing two things. 1. Telling her what you're doing. 2. Giving her freedom of choice, so, if she chooses to stay with you beyond that point, it is of her own accord and because she wants to be with you. That's the beauty of this system. You tell a girl openly that you're a non-monogamous guy and the only type of relationship you'll accept is an open one. You also allow the girl to leave. No questions asked, if she doesn't like it. Reactions to the talk. Usually, after the talk, your girlfriend will start acting peculiarly. She may cry uncontrollably. She may go very quiet and then act as though everything is normal. She may ask questions. She'll undoubtedly be thinking about what you said in more detail later when she's alone. I've seen girls have all kinds of reactions, but the most important thing is for you, as the man, to remain calm and hold your frame, no matter what happens or what she does. It's important to do this because holding your frame shows her exactly where you both stand. You effectively say that no other form of relationship will be acceptable to you and you are willing to lose her if she cannot accept it. You care for the girl and you want to keep seeing her. But you're not going to compromise your ability to see other women. On the flip side, you're going to be honest and upfront about what the situation is and what you're doing. We don't want to set the wrong expectations. Most times, a girl will come back to you with many questions. It may take her a few days to come to accept your terms, so be present and patient. This is the most pivotal moment in this type of relationship setup because it's when she will either accept or reject the system. I've also had girls become extremely sexual during this time. I remember one instance after the talk where a girl bawled for the first 5 minutes or so. Then she became horny like I've never seen her before. She wanted me to screw her brains out for the next 3 hours. So I did. You should accept whatever comes in the wake of the talk. Anything sexual in this moment is a good thing. But you must be prepared for anything else, too. Be sure to hold your frame. Stay mentally and emotionally strong. The odds of losing a woman during or after the talk. There is a risk of losing a woman you're dating after you deliver the talk. It's usually best to wait to deliver the talk for as long as you possibly can. Stall until it's no longer possible. This increases the time duration and intensity of her investment in you. It also gives her more of an opportunity to become closer to you and see the value of your relationship. If you want the highest chance of keeping a woman, monogamy is your best bet. Even then, there's no guarantee, and you'll be limited to dating just her and no one else. You won't be able to see any other women without some serious repercussions. For most guys, this sounds great because they're usually enjoying some hardcore new relationship energy, NRE, when they're thinking about monogamy, and girls are good at making that happen. In this system, the two of you will be open and honest to a degree. Everyone wins. Most girls, I would say 75% of women, come to accept the system, and the vast majority will accept it in the moment. A few may fall off as they begin to realize the implications of the structure. The biggest fear that girls have is of other women, your other women. They'll have vivid images of the other women in your life, especially if you're an attractive man. You're effectively telling her you're going to be sleeping with other women while you're with her, even if she doesn't know exactly what's going on or when. This kills her dream of monogamy, well, with you anyway. Most girls grow up wanting monogamy because this is what they're told they're supposed to have in their lives from a very young age. Prince Charming is supposed to come and sweep them off their feet. Even though they might have bad boys and FBs pump and dump them along the way, most girls are innocent enough to continue to strive for a commitment from that one special guy. Frames before, during, and after the talk. It's vital to be mindful, alert, and aware during the talk. While it will only last a few minutes, you'll likely be building up to that moment for a few weeks. And you'll have to maintain a specific frame after it. We already talked about the life cycle of relationships in our last article, so let's quickly cover the frame implications. Before the talk. Be cautious before the talk. Keep the relationship going and the girl invested for as long as possible, giving her great sex often. When the talk starts to come up, you want to deflect the topic for as long as you can. You must watch out for the talk every single day. Immediately before the talk, you can sense it coming, so you'd better get ready. I've already listed the signs, but it's going to be drama. Something will feel uneasy with her, and you're going to have to address it. The frame role you're going to be playing here is supportive yet firm. You're going to tell her exactly where you stand, but you're also going to be present and open with her. And you're going to be there for her as if she's your girlfriend. After the talk. Afterward, your macro frame shifts to let's have fun and keep growing together. From this moment on, you're going to be treating your girl as you would a monogamous girlfriend. So far, you've limited your investment because you don't want her to get the wrong idea. If you've had the talk and she's accepted it, you can invest freely, as you would with any girlfriend. Now your concern shifts more to queen theory and mutual growth. The key is to make sure you are always growing from that point on and you don't change your behavior in any significant way. You must convey that you're going to be growing together and be sensitive to that for a few days after the talk. You're going to be telling her you know what the deal is, and she can accept or reject it at her discretion. You won't stop her from leaving if she doesn't like what she hears. The other kind of talk, about meeting other women. There is another kind of talk you need to have with your girl. This other talk, about the other women in your life, usually comes a short while after the main discussion. If a girl accepts the system, she's going to want to know all about the other women in your life, and maybe even want to befriend them in some way. Your responses to these questions are the fundamental difference between an explicit polyamorous relationship style and the implicit non-monogamous structure I've described before in this article. As somebody who has tried both telling partners about the other women in my life and refraining from it, I've noticed that telling girlfriends about your liaisons can have extremely negative ramifications if you don't see that woman as your main queen. You can tell your girl about your other liaisons if you want to, but only if she's your queen and will stay that way indefinitely while you're with her. That's a whole different kind of role in a relationship because now you're going into more of a primary-secondary polyamorous structure, rather than the multi-relationship structure of the harem system. I strongly advise that you don't have your women meet each other if you consider them girlfriends. That is, if you have multiple queens, they should not be meeting each other. Girls of any other status, whether they be a one-night stand, an FB, or a friend, you can do whatever you want. You can even set up threesomes if you play your cards right. You must also respect how other people will view your relationship. That includes social structures such as family, friends, colleagues, or any other kind that could affect you or your girls. Other people are eager to label things. It's human nature. That makes girls nervous. And your girlfriends will most likely have some anxiety around it. The talk is important. The talk is the moment your girls enter into and accept the harem system. By this point, you've already groomed them, but with the talk, you're making it official. In our next article in the series, we are going to be talking about the aftereffects of the talk in more detail. Specifically, are we being honest with ourselves when defining this kind of relationship structure? After all, what kind of expectations have we just set? You've said you like her and love seeing her, but you're not going to be exclusive to her. You're going to see her while seeing other women, not telling her about them in detail. You've told her she is free to leave if she chooses, but you'd like her to stay and be with you. You've given her a choice as to what she can do with this newfound information. You're in a great situation. If she's accepted it, you can date different women as girlfriends and pursue any new women while you're dating the ones already in your life. Is this right? Aren't I lying to my girlfriends by not telling them about what I'm doing? I've asked this question myself many times. We'll discuss the moral nature of this setup in our next article. Until then.